Good afternoon. Welcome to the special called meeting for the City Commission for July 26, 2024. Can you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Pruitt,
Here.
Commissioner Witt,
Here.
Commissioner Vowles,
Here.
Commissioner Thomas.
Here.
Mayor Staten.
Here. First up, we've got a number of second readings that we need to take care of. The first second reading is for an ordinance amending Chapter 20.
Ordinance number 34-24, ordinance amending Chapter 20 relating to house numbering plan. An ordinance amending Chapter 20 street, sidewalks, and other public places, Article 1, in general, Section 20-8, house numbering plan of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Henderson.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
We have a second. Any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Witt,
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending fiscal year 2025 job classification.
Ordinance number 35-24, ordinance amending job classifications and pay plan. An ordinance approving amendment to job classifications and pay plan by applying the non-hazardous fiscal year 2025 one pay grade increase plan to 4 HWU positions.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Witt,
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending budgeted positions.
Ordinance number 36-24, ordinance amending portion of City of Henderson fiscal year 2025 budget and appropriation. Ordinance amending City of Henderson budgeted positions and job classifications of the 2024 through 2025 budget for certain non-hazardous positions in the Parks and Recreation Department.
Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
Have any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Witt,
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance accepting public utility improvements.
Ordinance number 37-24, ordinance accepting public improvements. Ordinance accepting public utility improvements, stormwater sewer system for the Copper Creek condominium project on Green River Road in the City of Henderson.
Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
We have any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Witt,
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending Chapter 7.
Ordinance number 38-24, ordinance amending Chapter 7 relating to adoption of National Fuel Gas Code. An ordinance amending Chapter 7 Buildings and Building Regulations, Article 7 Fuel Gas Code, Section 7-221, adoption of National Fuel Gas Code of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Henderson.
Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Witt,
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Buzzy, we have a city manager's report.
I'd like to ask Kevin Herron to come to the podium and provide us a summary of the auction that occurred yesterday for our property located at 105th Street. Kevin. Kevin, if you don't care, just give us an overview of the interest and the activity that you saw yesterday and what the end result was with the high bid.
Sure. Thanks for having me, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kevin Herron with Herron Auction and Realty. If anybody wants to take a look at one of our mailing marketing pieces, I can approach and let you guys have a copy real quick. I think I have just enough for everybody. This was the mailer piece that went out to the targeted audience that we were marketing to. That piece That piece went out to 2,217 addresses in a regional capacity in the tri-state area for a commercial audience of real estate owners and investors. This auction is, of course, known as 105th Street, the administrative office of Temple, and it was posted on the national platform highbid.com on July the 3rd. And it ran through last night, the 25th, and ended with a soft closing at 5:30. Soft closing means when the hammer drops, it doesn't end. The hammer drops when the time runs out, whenever there's no active bidding participation. So for example, if the auction is to end at 5:30 and Mr. Pruitt, you're at $5 and I'm an active bidder and the next bid is $10, I bid $10, you will actually get 1 minute to bid your 15. That's a soft closing example. So that's how we conducted the auction last night. There was 143 total active bids during that 3-week program on the platform. And the high bid ended up being, actually there was 19 total registered bidders, 19 registered bidders. And the high bid was $470,500. And then when you calculate the 6% buyer's premium into the total purchase price, the contract total purchase price, if accepted, would be $498,730. Total contract purchase price. And of course, the auction firm service fee would be retaining the 6% buyer's premium. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have as far as the process is concerned, as far as how we advertised it, where we advertised it. It was a multimedia advertising campaign, including the targeted mailers, social media, email, targeted email blasts, multiple websites, and so on and so forth. So we did have an open house. We did have private showings. There was significant interest. And just like any real estate transaction, there's things that are both advantages and disadvantages and positives and negatives when it comes to looking into the marketability and to the public, as well as what they're willing to offer and bid on a structure that we've offered to them. So it was an open public bidding format. Open to anybody.
So if y'all remember, we did set a reserve on the property. We discussed that at the time when we made the decision to auction off this property. And I will say that the high bid did not meet our limit of our reserve. In fact, it was significantly below that reserve limit. My question of each of y'all, first of all, do you have any questions for Mr. Herron?
No, Kevin, it looks like you did a good job of getting the people that were interested in wanting to make the bids, so
Sure.
that part was good. On the other hand, it didn't come up to our expectation of what we figured we would want for the building, so that's something else.
So if you remember, when we presented this months ago about going in this direction, there are only certain ways we can dispose of real property, one of which is sealed bids, one is public auction, which is what we did, or the third was for economic development. So with this being said, we chose the public auction route. We were encouraged early on by the interest, thinking that the price would be closer to what our reserve was. And so today we're, based upon, we've had an appraisal on the property, And we've had that discussion, and at this point in time, it's my recommendation that we reject the bids and come back at a later date and decide what to do now or do next within our model procurement process.
That's
I kinda
not close, but now Kevin, tell them what you told me on the boundaries. Or-
So the, previously in the statement that I made early on is there's positive advantages. What the feedback is from the general public when you're showing property. You always listen to the feedback on what affects the value, both as it goes upwards, or what affects it to bring it down to what the opinions are of the general public. The number one predominant feedback that I got was the lack of boundary lines as it relates to this building and this structure in this location, thus hindering potential uses in the future. If you'll notice on the marketing piece, it is a corner lot, and naturally, there's a pad right behind it that is exactly the same size as the lot that surrounds the structure. That was the predominant factor as to why there was a lack of upward trends towards the higher end of the valuation opinion scale. It can be debated as to what dollar figure that would affect this price, but if you debate that and discuss it amongst yourselves with any real estate professional or with anybody that has any experience with real estate, you could argue that you potentially could have achieved your opinion of what the appraiser or you guys said in the very beginning of what you thought that this was going to bring. So take that and add that on, here we are, you potentially could be very close to that figure. It could be argued that it could be 100,000 all the way up to 400,000 as to how that lot not being with this property affects the value. And I've had that conversation with many, many, many people. At the very beginning, which is when we see typically the most enthusiastic response when the sign goes up and a property is posted online, you're going to get a lot of traffic. And as soon as everybody became aware that the boundary lines were hugging the structure with realistically an arm's length distance to the structure, there was a lot of hesitation. We had, I believe, 6 to 7 active bidders out of the 19. We had 3 duking it out at the end, and then ultimately it came down to 2, and then 1, and here we are. But that number one issue is what affected the value here, nothing else. You have location, you have good condition on the structure, you have, you have a lot of advantages, but also this one big disadvantage outweighs all of your other positives, in my opinion. That's strictly my opinion as a real estate broker and auctioneer.
Well, not to, so I don't want to belabor the discussion because I don't know that we have a whole lot to discuss. I do want to ask the opinion of the individual commissioners. Is there anyone in favor of entertaining going forward with this? Because I personally am in agreement with Buzzy that this is an easy reject.
Yeah, a lot lower than what we anticipated.
Oh, yeah.
Typically, in the auction world, when we have a rejection, it's not a term and condition. However, it's a general courtesy that the high bidder would like to hear a counteroffer. If that's not the protocol here, I quite understand that. However, if that could be something that we could put together and continue on with the high bidder on a negotiation aspect, that would be my request.
So with that being said, I think as far as state statute is concerned, which is what we follow with model procurement, I've had Dawn Kelsey could either answer it, or we have Dawn Wynn, who's in our finance department, can answer how that would work, and if it's even legal. Dawn, do you have an opinion?
Well, so what we do is we reject it, like, once we're at this point, we've got some options now, because we did try to take it to a public auction, that we could actually put it out for sale, not by auction, sealed bid for economic development. Now we could, but we have to put a known price on it, go with the real estate agent on it. So, and as part of that, I guess if you listed it, then that could be your counter offer, but it wouldn't be today. I mean, we have to prepare some documents to get ready for that. We wouldn't be able to do that today. Dawn, do you agree with that? And I did talk with Kelsey this morning. Because that was my finding, and I called and they confirmed that we have that option, that we can do. Now we can list it with a real estate agent. If that's what you want
Say
to
we,
do.
my suggestion would be we reject the offer, and then we give our city attorney and city manager some authority to explore, the next steps. We don't have to decide it today, but just take some time to think on it.
I tend
agree
to,
with
I
that.
tend to agree with Commissioner
Yeah, I
Vowles.
agree with
Do we need that in the form of a motion, Dawn?
You need to reject the bid.
Okay, Commissioner
I
Va,
think he mentioned that in.
yeah, it wasn't exact, but Commissioner Vowles, can you rephrase that in the form of a motion, please?
Sure. I'll make a motion that we reject the offer and then ask our city manager and city attorney to bring us back our options moving forward with potentially selling the building.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions while we're looking at it? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Witt,
Aye.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Thank you for doing this auction for us. And as we explore our options, we'll certainly keep in touch with
Yeah,
you.
we'll
Great.
talk with you.
Yep.
We appreciate it.
Kevin, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for
With
having me.
this action today, we have listed on the agenda executive session. However, with this decision, there's no need for executive session.
All right. And being that this is a special called meeting, we cannot operate off the agenda. So that being said, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
We've got a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Awesome. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, this meeting's
Aye.
adjourned.